Hello? Alright, cool. Um, alright, so I just wanted to walk you through some stuff real quick. There's 100% gonna be some crashes here. Everything's kind of fucked, but there's like nav mesh on nav mesh and nothing's merged, and I've got 5 mods on top of each other. So I wanted to show you just a few things to get your creative juices flowing a little bit, because I pretty much successfully figured out how to make this work with Willy Box Mod. But I love the idea what he's doing here. He kind of makes this like entry area, like kind of, like a trade district, whatever. So he's got this like Whiterun contraband office right here to the right, which I thought was really cool. There's really not much in there, a bunch of contraband stuff. Then he's got this, which I showed you before. And once NPCs get down here and stuff, it's like it's really cool. There's like, I'll come back in a minute if it doesn't crash. Then up here is like another like warehouse, and it's pretty much just a warehouse. But you had that idea about making this kind of like the Thieves Guild and people dressed up as Thieves Guild. He has a Thieves Guild that he made, but it's just not, you can't use it with Dawn of Skyrim. So, I was thinking like, what if I move the exterior part of the Thieves Guild, which is similar to this outside piece here. It's called Master Rumpel's Establishment. And this whole area, instead of like a warehouse, became the Thieves Guild, which is basically runs this whole district, right? And that would make sense. And then there's like another spot back here, which we'll get to, that's this guy right here. It's like the Chudwicks, and they're like the nobility family, you see? So, and he gets over here, and he's the guy that's like behind the counter counting and looking at scrolls and doing all this stuff along with a few of his goons. Okay, so it would be like the nobility, and then like the Thieves Guild, and those are the guys running the show, or maybe even working together or whatever. So that's sort of like my thought there. And I can make this kind of like a hangout area for the Thieves Guild guys. This is a big space. I can, they can lean up against here, look kind of gangster looking. I can put some guys with eye patches and just some like, guys looking interesting. So that's sort of my idea. See, he kind of looks pretty badass hanging out around here. So anyway, so then, I've got a functioning version of. See, this is from Whiterun Has Walls Redone. So I have a semi-functional version of Whiterun Walls Redone here. And then this is kind of the entranceway into his city. So then right here, he has the Merchants Guild. And this is actually like a pretty cool spot. It's like, there's like a lot of stuff going on in here, and a lot of cool custom NPCs, and this is actually like a really nice establishment. So anyway, we got the Merchants Guild, okay, and then you kind of come up here. It fit somewhat nicely the right when House Walls area, it fits somewhat nice. And then we've got this nice little area here. This is that Chudwick residence, which is like the nobility of the area. Then he's the same guy that's up front. This is a guards barrack for all the extra guards he added. This is like a way house, and it's for like those the kind of Arabic type looking guys, that they put in the game. I forgot what their names are. So, I could kind of customize that a little bit further. And then this is like the hooker house. So it's kind of the red light district, hence the red lights. It's a whole hooker house. It's kind of cool. Lots of hookers and stuff, which I thought was really cool to add to this district. That's pretty genius. And I think it could probably even be elaborated on. There's probably some resource packs that would make that really cool. And then there's 3 like random houses here that are kind of totally trash, like in terms of getting to them and all that, but I need to patch this whole thing. But anyway, it's 3 random houses. So, and then there's this other spot here. I gotta see why these guys are just standing here. There's this like decryptic house here or something, you know, and it's just kind of like interesting. But I could potentially replace this house with like a real house, you know. So that's something I was considering. Okay, this here, I think this is from T Skyrim stuff. So we kind of like we'll have these 2 booths. He didn't, you know, add any NPCs, but I think it'd be cool to just like maybe take some of Willy Bach's unused NPCs, throw them in here, you know. This area has got some duplicate stuff, but you know, it really got impacted by this tower here because it was kind of recessed back here and there was a lot more room. So everything's gonna have to be re-nav meshed, and I'm gonna have to take away the duplicates. So, and you're gonna see all kinds of problems. There's lighting problem, everything like everything's forked right here. So. So they made this a functional gate. That's Willy Bach, and then this is half Willy Bach, half JK Skyrim's stuff, which I thought was cool. And I thought it'd be cool to like put a commander in here, you know, like there's that character Sir Rumple. I always thought was pretty cool. That guy does, you know, like it'd be cool to put something like him in here, like some really cool, like, you know, like off kilter sort of like, you know, commander type, you know. There's also a NPC called Oberon, who's like a polar bear that looks really cool as a like storm cloak guy, you know. So I was thinking like how cool it'd be if I could figure out the body armor, because to get the regular armor off him, and then there's like the storm cloak polar bear guy here, or like a Khajiit, but like a cool like commander type Khajiit, and he just hangs out here and reads. Like I could probably put like a little book or something cool that he reads here. I gotta fix this. This is kind of JK Skyrim, T Skyrim type stuff here. Clutter. And there's this spot here. It's pretty cool too. There's a little bit of a area with some cool stuff in it. And that's pretty much the outside. There's this thing down here. If I crash, by the way, I'll just like restart and whatever. But and this area Willy Bach did too, which actually fits perfectly with Whiterun has walls. It just literally like is exact. Like maybe I need to move that up a little bit, but fits pretty damn good with Whiterun has walls out of the box. I gotta move that just slightly, but that's pretty darn good, you know. Little porta potties. Gotta patch a couple things here, but yeah, little sink. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. A little bathroom, you know. I gotta patch that. Tons of stuff I still need to patch, by the way. I'm just, you know. I also am patching this because this is still EEK, so I gotta delete this or patch it or something. These I have to change because it's like picking up your fire and stuff, and anyway, but yeah, I think these are actually cool once it gets the right textures for here. Like you know, like this game has no textures. It's just kind of like random stuff. I adopted your stuff over here, and I also remember from your thing. I'm probably just gonna remove all these buildings here and then just go straight with either Willy Bach's up top here, or just keep JK's, like just for ease of everything, you know. So we'll probably like, you know, we'll disable like his Willy Bach's area here, just to, you know, have to patch less, you know. But this T Skyrim I think did this, and I put it into Servants Whiterun, and I refined it a little bit, you know. But I think to your point, it might be just a little bit too much. It might be better to have that area just open, you know. And then I would keep like this here, and anyway. So that's that area, and then this is pretty much all. This is JK Skyrim, and I'm gonna have to move this asset here from Willy Box. I have a place to put it in the new city or the new town area in the front, and then T Skyrim kind of put this on top of JK Skyrim, which I thought was kind of cool, just some extra storage. And then once I delete this front piece, the Whiterun has walls kind of goes here, and everything perfectly fits up there. So I've got that whole thing worked out. And then T Skyrim did like a little bridge area here, which I'm gonna. I like the idea, so I left it in, but I'm gonna probably patch it and make it a little nicer. But the idea would be that we, you know, that you can come up in here and, you know, get to this area. And he had originally had like a house here and a house here. But I like this without, you know, I don't need extra houses, you know, as much. And I think I like this, and then maybe keep the house here, because this could be like the loot, the you know, this guy here had a little loot door here, which is like the guy who plays in the market square, you know, that Willybach added, which I thought was kind of cool. And gave him like instruments. I think there he is, right there. Yes. Yeah. So this is like the bard, you know, and that would be his house up there. Plus the Skinner would be hanging out there. So, you know, if the Skinner doesn't have a house, we can give him a house with the bard if we wanted. Anyway, so all of this needs to be deleted, basically, all the Breeze Home stuff that you did, because yeah, the new Breeze Home is actually gorgeous. Oh, yeah. So it's not the regular Breeze Home. It's called something else. What's it called here? You can't. It's not here. Yeah, I didn't put it in this load order. So I moved this around. I repurposed this from one of the older versions of Willy Box Mod, which is like, I just love this, and I want to keep this here. I just think it's absolutely wonderful. I may make some adjustments to it, but it's basically really pretty. And I kept some of this stuff from, I think T Skyrim did like this here, you know, so it's like, it's kind of like nice. Got a little stairs. I left the little stairs here. I got to make some adjustments, of course. Kept a little flower area here, you know. I'd move this. I've got these assets I want to put like maybe here, because something's got to block like it's slightly above the terrain here, so I was thinking about maybe putting this there and repurposing this, and maybe even these two boxes somehow, like, you know, kind of money boxes or something, repurposing those, so I've kept them. I'm not sure how I feel about this thing. I think it's a little bit much, but I don't know, like it's just like, sometimes I feel like there's too much in this area, so I may cut some of this down eventually, but I just wanted to keep all the assets, so, you know, I can make those decisions, you know, as they come, you know. If you see random doors around, these random doors are just like, I just didn't want to delete any doors this run around until I'm really ready and certain, because I can keep certain stuff, you know. Hi there. I really like this tree in Willy Box with the little box. I think that's really special, and this would get removed. You can't remove it here, but that would be removed. You know, people can hang out here, you know, get them to, you know, mess around. And this area, I kind of nuked. There was Master Rumpel's Thieves Guild here, but with Dawn of Skyrim, we couldn't do that. I also think I'm gonna use the fishery and the tools thing, so I think I'm gonna entirely replace these from Dawn of Skyrim with Willy Box, because Willy Box has this really nice fishery and tool thing that I don't really like the location of that I have it, and I'm just gonna entirely move it here. I can choose to keep this house here if needed, um, or if I remove it, this is kind of like the hood, like sort of like the slums, sort of. I can remove all these, houses and stuff, and it's kind of like a hangout, slummy sort of area with like a soup vendor here. I had repurposed the soup kitchen, and there's a vendor that sells soup and stuff, and then like there's like 3 or 4 NPCs that kind of sleep here and roam around, and they're like kind of vagabond-esque. So I'm not sure what I want to do with this area yet. Do I do that, or do I keep the house there, but nuke everything? So that's a decision I have to make. Then there's this like little conglomeration here. Both Willybach and T Skyrim both kind of made like a sort of this gauntlet area here with 3 houses, and it allots for like 2 other houses. There's like a weaver shop and a locksmith. Um, I'm I don't like love the locksmith and the like weaver shop. They're not like, they're like the least of my maybe favorites that he created. I think there's better ones I can put here, but like this is another area where like the loot guy can go, or like maybe even I can put Mystic Megs here, which I really like, or like there's like a professor as well, like that like he's got a pretty cool little like research lab or something. So that's something I can do. And then this is like the area for I gotta nuke these walls from JK Skyrim if I want to keep her here, but the idea would be like I could keep the soup kitchen here. This is where Willybach had it, and had all this cool like stuff, but I need to do like a lot of like patching and rearranging here, because there's like a lot of stuff everywhere. So it's either I would keep the wall here with JK's stuff and like nuke the these things here, or I would get rid of the wall and like keep this vendor here instead of all the way over there, which the soup vendor was there in like the poor district. Then there's Mystic Megs here, which I think that's her, which it actually came out really nice, this one, but it's in the spot where your baker is. And my thought is I want to keep the bakery, and then I want to move Mystic Megs somewhere. I've got a couple different ideas, but that's kind of my thought on it, at least. And then back here I can move tables around, but the idea here eventually will be like to make this kind of like a little hangout area. I like the idea of it being attached to the bar. It's kind of like an outside bar spot. I crashed. I knew that was going to happen. Let me just reload back in. There's like so many mods over each other. It's just like mega crash. This I liked here too. This was pretty cool. It's got like, and this horse actually goes and finds like its owner. Like, so Willybach is really cool. Like, it leaves. It's a little buggy while it's loading, but it basically finds its owner, and then he like jumps on it. I think that might be him right there.
Don't suppose you want to get hired somewhere else? Somewhere away from me?
Well, I don't know what happened there, but that guy usually jumps on the horse. Anyway, so go back through here.
Halt. City fine. It will be
keeping an eye on you.
And by the way, way cooler in the new, like with all the textures and the new stuff. It's like this. It just looks a million times cooler, you know. I kept that thing in the air because it's like it's a cool thing I want to keep and put it somewhere. I gotta clean this area up a little bit, but the idea is like I gotta once I patch it, the JK's thing will be patched. Just this thing from Willy Bach will be here with a vendor, and then this will be moved over here. So I'm kind of doing that. Then this thing, I mean, I don't know. This is a fucking nightmare of crap, but Skyrim did this cool wall, which I kind of like in a weird way like, but I need to see what the texture looks like, so I left it, but then I did this cool thing here with like basically like this you know, this kind of thing that looks kind of cool here, which I liked. So I mean there's so much shit overlapping here, it's just ridiculous, but anyway. So that's that. Then I also have this guy here, which I thought was pretty cool, darn cool as well. This came from Big Head's creation, although they're all vanilla assets, but I thought it was kind of a cool, like a little creation to make that bridge like kind of interesting, you know. This thing would be kind of optional, but I left this here as well. And there's in Willy Box, there's like a tree that comes up here in the center, kind of in line with her, and then he puts like some mushrooms and stuff. But I've deleted most of his flora to put your flora in. And this thing will be revamped. I'm gonna move everything onto this wall here. I had done it at the previous mod, but it's just I haven't had time to go through that again. But that area will be revamped pretty well. A lot of this stuff I really haven't had time to touch. These benches are gonna be replaced by Willy Box benches. Your benches are a little bit, you're superseding them, so I'm gonna have to like I'm gonna have to put Willy Box benches ahead of yours, you know.
Applestein, Greymane, and I were
So,
best friends as children. If I see that traitor again,
yeah,
I'll
so
throw
I
him in
have to
jail
figure out how
myself.
to do that because I don't want all these, you know, things fucked up, you know. Anyway, it's still a work in progress. Everything's so messed up now, but I just wanted to give you an idea more of my like thoughts on stuff, you know. I think if your mod supersedes here, this area will stay really clean like this, and I like this. I like what you did with the with this, like cleaning this area up. I love that, and then I will basically just like push this back a little bit, and then keep this thing and delete the Dawn of Skyrim piece up here, because that thing's all fucked up, and I don't want him there. Or any of the death bells. So that would be that's the idea there. Just kind of like, what is that? It's kind of creepy, you know. I like the idea of like having something like this in there, and people are like, what's going on, you know, like, you know. But that's sort of the idea. There's some cool stuff from Willy back here, like notes and stuff, and these things came from Willy Box as well, which I thought was pretty cool. And you can kind of choose to keep this straw roof thing and ditch, you know, like this, you know, or keep this or ditch the straw roof and entirely, you know. So that's just something we can play with.
Cloud is
This stuff probably
very
not
often.
going to be there.
What am I saying?
And then the idea would be, you got 2 benches, keep some of this, keeps a cool area over here to, the guy comes in and plays around, whacks around stuff. I'm gonna clean this area up a little bit. You know, this thing's pretty cool, and I'm gonna clean this up too. I did it in the other mod. I just haven't done a lot of this stuff. What else here? I mean, this is pretty cool. I thought. You know, it ends up being like white with the new mod stuff. I love this area. You know, this is I've repurposed a lot of stuff. Like this stuff is. I just brought this off the patio and I deleted it because I may reutilize some of this stuff. But for now, so that's this area. I think it came out nice. So anyway, there's that. And then so T Skyrim added like a house back here, which, you know, there was just some stupid farm back here, you know, with some goats. It's like, so this is perfect. I love the positioning of this house. You know, just a nice place I can put another like house there from Willy Box stuff. This is, what is this one? This is his bakery. We're not gonna duplicate bakeries, but what the fuck is this guy doing? Okay. So then the other thought was, could I put Sir Rumples, which is like the Thieves Guild, could I put him in here, you know? Because, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure, like, you know, what I would do here. But the Thieves Guild is pretty interesting. And they have, you know, I mean, this is the ugliest building, like, you know, in my opinion, you know, like, I liked some of the stuff here, but it's like too small. I would open this up or put them in a bigger building and take the assets here and move it in there. But the idea is like, you know, it's the Thieves Guild area with a lot of these interesting characters in here, and that would be like, I think great for the front of Whiterun, you know. So, or right here, you know, I mean, it's like something that I was thinking about, but I kept this big building. I ditched the patio in the back because I think that was a good idea. I can actually fix that clipping there as well. I just have to move that back a little bit, and I'm gonna have to remove a lot of nav mesh and stuff. This I think has to go. I like this thing, but it has these like ugly pulls, so unless you know how to remove that on the mesh for me, like, and you can give me a mesh, I gotta ditch this. But I mean, I like having this like this, actually. Like, it makes it feel pretty cool to me. And then, you know, obviously this stuff will be filled up with some cool stuff from other mods. So this area is interesting. So I kept the orphanage here. It's gonna crash. Oh, maybe not. So I deleted Willy Bach had like house. That's what all these houses are, you know, houses everywhere. But I kept the orphanage, and I'd like this statue for it, and I kept the orphanage here. So there's a kid, and then there's a school on the other side, you know. So the idea is like, you know, and I thought this was cool, but I'm gonna repurpose this somewhere else. But this was from T Skyrim. He'd made like a little fountain area, but I don't think we can make it work here because you got the dogs and stuff, you know. But I left it here just for shits and giggles for a little bit. But I kept your awesome thing. This thing's the most amazing thing in the world. Anyway, and, you know, this kind of stuff back here looks good, or will look good. And then
I've been looking for you. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
the school then is over here. I'll need to decorate some shit here, but yeah. The school then is over here, you know, which Whiterun City School. And then all this walls will be patched. I just have to remove some of your walls, I think, right here. So there's that, and then back here, I gotta figure something out because there is this abandoned den. So I was thinking maybe I would like remove, I'm not sure, some of that and move it, because it's a really cool like abandoned like cave area. Like, I think I could just go and check it out. But I liked it. Like I went in, I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, you know, it's this like little abandoned den. You go down here and there's some, you know, people in here, and then there's this like wooden door that goes to nowhere, which you know, we could make like a really cool interior and stuff. So I thought that was really cool, and I just thought this was kind of like just a cool area, you know. So um, I think that would be really fun. And then so we'll have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. And then they also have, and I'm gonna move this thing here to and this and all that. But you walk through here, and this is actually the executioner's house. So there's like a executioner walking around, which I also like. I love the idea of that justice theme thing. Uh, anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna stop the video now with that crash.